Want a sword? Get a mentor. Hey, it's Nina Carmichael. We made these videos probably because you're the most ambitious person in your circle. You know you're capable of more and you need that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, and this is why you are failing to achieve your goals. Enjoy! Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Know your why.
I think people struggle with goals because they struggle with self-awareness, because they don't know who they are. And so they're constantly adjusting the goals that they have for themselves based off what other people think of them and based off what they see out in the media or on Instagram or on YouTube. They don't have self-awareness. And so you set incorrect goals. And so here's a 3-step process I call the higher purpose plan that I think if you go through will dramatically change your life. It did for me, it did for many others, and it's time for you. It's time for you to have meaning in your life and build something amazing. So let's go. Step 1 is your who. You got to figure out what your one word is, what your most important core value is. Who are you as a human being? I wrote a whole book on this, but just as a quick brainstorm opportunity for you right now, think about what is your single most important core value. What is it? If you had to pick one core value as a human being, what is it? For me, it's believe. I like believing in people. I need to believe in people. I hate negativity. I hate toxic people. I hate the haters, right? I don't want to be around people saying that you can't do this. I am the opposite. I need to believe. And so already right there, already having that awareness of what your one word is, what your who is, when you figure that out, it allows you to make better decisions. It means that if you were in a work environment, if I was in a work environment where people didn't believe in each other, I wouldn't be able to handle it. I would be frustrated, be upset, I'd be angry. And now I know why, because my one word is believe. And so what is your single most important core value? Figure that out. It's one of the most important exercises you can ever do in your life. It's super helpful, it's valuable, it's important. You need to do it. Otherwise, you will never have clarity over your goals. Step number 2 is your why. Why do you do what you do? Your purpose comes from your pain. Your purpose comes from your pain. The thing that you will enjoy the most in life is helping people who currently are going through whatever you massively struggled with. Think about the biggest pain in your life, whatever that was growing up, the biggest pain, the thing you'd never want to have to repeat or go through again, that pain, that deep, dark pain you wouldn't wish upon your enemies, that pain, the worst day of your life, that pain. Your greatest joy in life will be helping people who are currently going through that pain and getting them through it. That's it. That's your purpose for life. That will never get old. That will be with you for life. And so for me, starting up as an entrepreneur was my biggest pain. I felt worthless. I was making $300 a month. I was suffering and struggling and just felt defeated as a human being. That's why I love helping out other entrepreneurs. And that's going to be it for life. That'll be my purpose for life. And so I know my who, I know my one word, most important core value. I know my why, my purpose comes from my pain. That is for life. Guys, just figuring out those 2 steps will give you so much more clarity over 99% of the world. It's worth it. It's a little bit of process to go through, but I guarantee you it's worth it. It'll dramatically shift how you see the world and what you do with your life. Step 3 is then the how. So it's the who, why, how. How is then your passion. It's figuring out what it is that you're actually going to do. So I could believe in entrepreneurs all I want, but what am I going to do it? You have to enjoy the process. If you look at the most successful people in the world, they enjoy the process of the work. It's not just the end result. It's not just for me about hitting 10 million subscribers. It's the process. I like making videos, right? I like helping entrepreneurs. And I do that through making videos, through speeches, through books. You have to like the process of it. Otherwise, you will never win. Once you figure out your who, your one word, once you figure out your pain, right? The why, purpose comes from your pain. Then make a list of all the ways that you have helped people deal with those struggles. And then circle the ones that you enjoyed the process of. If a friend of mine needed to move to a new building and I offered to help and move boxes, I would be pumped for him that he's got his new office set up. That's believing in entrepreneurs, but I don't enjoy the process of moving boxes. And so I wouldn't circle that one on my list. But if it's making videos, if it's writing books, if it's going and doing seminars and speaking from the front of a stage, if it's helping entrepreneurs one-on-one at coffee shops, all that stuff, I love it. I love it. Like I could do it forever. I love it. It fills me. It gives me energy and fuel. And so I want that for you. And so you now make a list of all the ways that you have helped people and then circle the ones that you enjoyed, not just the end result, but the actual process. And then figuring that stuff out, you're set. You're set. You're now a special human being. And I think it's within all of us to be able to do it. We just don't have the awareness that it's something that we need to go and chase down. And so figure that out. Get the self-awareness. Understand what your who is. Understand what your why is. Understand what your how is. And your life gets dramatically better.
Rule number 2, believe.
Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. Right? Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. One of the biggest reasons why entrepreneurs don't win, because you don't believe in yourself enough. It's why do I have this channel? Why is my one word believe? Look at the back of Nina's sweater. There it is, right? Believe. That's it. It's so important. There's so many, you guys are geniuses. There's so many geniuses, massively talented people out there with amazing ideas that can change the world, but you don't go off and crush it because you don't believe in yourself enough. I think the two biggest problems in the world are, one, recognizing that you have Michael Jordan level talent at something, believing that you have something in you, that you're not meant to just wake up and photocopy your life every day working for somebody else, just believing that. And two, then believing in that ability. Believing that you have Michael Jordan level talent at something, and then when you found it, believing in it enough to chase it down every day to get better, because you need to beat on your craft, because it may be something that's totally outside what is normal in your family, because it may be something way outside what is normal for your culture or your society or your community, but you have to go off and do that crazy thing. And it's really hard to believe in yourself enough to chase it down, especially when it's against what everybody around you is saying and what they believe. And so, great, yes, I need to believe in myself, amazing. How do you do it? What's the process? How do you gain self-belief? I'm gonna give you 2 strategies that will work extremely well, can work for anybody, can work for you, because it's time that you step into your greatness. Number 1, you need to eliminate the negativity in your life and replace it with belief. So think about, what are the thoughts, who are the people, what are the things around you that keep you where you are, that keep these negative patterns in your head? Is it your parents? Is it your friends? Is it the TV shows you're watching, the media you're consuming? Like, what is it that is toxic, that makes you feel small? And as much as possible, you either cut it out of your life or reduce the exposure. If it's your mom who's always on you and says you can't go be an entrepreneur, maybe you just don't talk about your career with your mom. You put boundaries up. I don't want to talk about this. There's other things that we have in common. You focus on that stuff. You lay out the ground rules. You make them respect you. And you don't talk about the things that you know is going to lead to conflict. And for other people, you may need to just completely cut them out of your life. If it's your best friend from growing up, just because you were friends in grade 4 doesn't mean you should still be friends with adults. A lot of our friendships are out of convenience. You're with people just because it's convenient to be with people, but you've grown apart and you have to recognize that. If somebody is toxic around you, you shouldn't be with them. And if you are, it's micro doses. And so you need to cut out a lot of the crap in your life. Anything that's causing negativity or self-doubt needs to be eliminated from your life as much as possible. Great, now you have a vacuum. Now you've got this hole, not as this void inside you. Great, what do? You fill it up with positivity. You fill it up with belief. My channel is a pretty good resource. I got this channel, I got the other channels, we got 3 videos plus a day coming out across my channels, that if you want more belief in your life, here's a great resource for you. But forget about me, it's not about me, it's about you. What makes you feel belief? If it's watching videos, great. If it's listening to a podcast, reading a book, doing an act of service, meditating, prayer, whatever the thing is that helps you feel belief, do that every single day. Fill yourself up with it. I inject myself with so much vitamin C belief. I see belief as this injection that I put into myself every day. I have so much of it in me that if somebody sneezes their toxicity on me, I'm not gonna get sick because I've done the work, because I'm surrounded with so much belief. That's what you need for your life as well. So you're cutting out the negative people, you're cutting out the negative resources, and you're replacing it with positivity so that when somebody does sneeze, they're toxic on you, you're not gonna get sick because you've taken so much belief vitamin C. So that's the first step. Eliminate those people, replace it with positivity and belief, whatever that thing is for you. Step number 2 is you gotta start acting. You gotta start doing things that make you believe in yourself. You gotta take a challenge that you didn't think you could do and start doing it. For some people, it's as simple as not hitting the snooze button in the morning. For some of you, hitting the snooze button is the hardest thing in the world. Great, make that your goal. For the next month, you're gonna wake up every day when you say you're gonna wake up. You're gonna set your alarm and you're just gonna get up when it goes off. And you're gonna celebrate. And you're gonna start building self-belief that you're the kind of person, this is what you need to set. You're the kind of person who follows through. You set goals and you follow through. You set goals and you follow through. You set goals and you follow through. The problem is you have an identity where you don't follow through. You don't believe yourself. You say you're gonna do something, but then you know you're not gonna do it. You say you're gonna go off and do this big thing, but you know you're not gonna do it because you don't do the little things, because you can't even wake up on time, because you let yourself down on your goals. And so you need to make sure that every time you set a goal, you follow through, you do it. You start training yourself. I'm the kind of person who sets goals and who follows through. And so it starts with what happens in the morning, right? You wake up when you say you're gonna get up. What happens next? What's the next piece of your morning routine, right? And then you do that every single day. You follow through. And so you have to be very, 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 very careful about the goals that you say you're gonna do. Because when you say you're gonna do something, you have to follow through. When I started this whole 90-day tour, our first stop was Boston. I got in at 2 a.m. At the time, I had a goal of doing 30 minutes of cardio every day. While Nina, Danny, everybody else slept, I did my 30 minutes of cardio. It was the worst cardio of all time. I burned 0 calories on it. I should have been sleeping, but I pat myself on the back because when it's hard and you do it, that's when you build the belief. When it's easy and you do it, nobody cares. You don't care about it because it was easy. But when it's hard and you do it, when it's hard to wake up at 5 a.m. when you say you're going to because you had a rough night and you do it, that's when you build self-belief. Now, if you're doing that every day, you're only sleeping 4 hours a night every day, your life is broken, you gotta fix it. But on a one-off, you have to get up. You have to do it. You have to set goals and you have to follow through. That's this 2-step process. Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. How do you build belief? 1, eliminate the negativity, replace it with positivity. 2, take on challenges, set goals for yourself, and then actually follow through on them. If you don't believe in yourself, you're never gonna do great things. You're always gonna have 1 foot on the gas and 1 foot on the brake at the same time. You know you're capable of more. You know you're capable of great things. You know you have Michael Jordan level talent at something, but because you don't believe in yourself, you don't chase it down. And so you live in this cycle of negativity, of knowing that you're capable of more, and frustration. And I wanna unlock that. I mean, that's the whole point of all of my content and my channels. I wanna unlock that. And those 2 steps, if that's you right now, will dramatically change your life. You will be, if you just did those 2 things every day for the next year, you will be a dramatically different person. Holy cow, 1 year from today, looking back, you will be a dramatically different person. The things you will have accomplished will surprise you. And I'm so pumped to cheer you on.
Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, the science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action for you to build a habit. So I've created a special free program to help you where every day for 254 days, I will send you an email that has a link to an unlisted video that if you watch it will boost your confidence forward. The link to join for free is in the description below.
And what you need to do is inoculate yourself against the judgment and learn to take action on your ideas, because the alternative is a life filled with regret.
Find whatever the smallest first step is, and then the smallest next step is, and continue to build those steps. And when you look back, you'll have realized that you made some pretty significant progress.
And so I think an easy way to do it is actually to start documenting the process along the way.
Rule number 3, help your customers.
I think you need to be your customer's chief goal officer. I think if you want to win in business, you have to understand your customers. You become their chief goal officer. If you want to accomplish your goals, the best way to get there is help your customers accomplish their goals. If you're helping them, you're solving problems, guess what? You're going to make money. They're going to pay you to do it. Now you have to combine what they want, right? You're the chief goal officer. This is what they want, and combine it with what you love doing. Can you help them solve that problem? Are you the person to solve it, or do you want to refer somebody else off to them to solve that problem? When you can mix those things together, the thing you absolutely love doing with what the customer so desperately wants, that's when you start to win. So look at this YouTube channel as an example. The content is a mix of what you guys like and what I like. It has to be that mix. From the beginning, the content that I was putting up became requests from people who were emailing me, who then started leaving comments and say, hey, can you do it on this? Or I have this kind of question. Hey, can you do this kind of video? And if I like it, I have something to say, great. A lot of the stuff I may not have anything to say, so I don't do it. But whenever there's that mix, we make the video. Even Simon, how did I learn about Simon? From you guys. From people who are leaving comments and say, hey, Evan, you should do a video on Simon Sinek. When you first left those comments, I had no idea who he was. I was pretty ignorant. I didn't know a lot of people. I still don't know a lot of people. I had no idea who he was. We did a little bit of research on him, said, wow, this is pretty cool. I like this guy. Yeah, we could totally do a top 10 on him, right? You wanted it. I liked it. The match is there. Let's make the video. And now that video, I didn't expect it to do so well. It's one of my top 5 videos. It's got, I think, 5 million views or something. When I recorded it, I was sick. You know, I was sick. I had my baseball hat on backwards. I'm sitting down in a chair. I think there's a little graphic on the screen that says Evan is sick this week. And regardless, videos goes up. I never thought it would be a top 5 video on my channel. If I did, maybe I would have waited so I wasn't sick, or maybe I would have done it anyway. I probably still would have just done it anyway, just because, but I never thought it would take off like it did. And so it's that combination. What I love with what you guys love. I'm trying to be your chief goal officer and then match that in a way that I can contribute content to you. Look at what I've done with my YouTube channels now. I split them up. We've got 7 different channels. Part of that's based off of how hopefully YouTube will rank my channel differently. And part of it's based off of your feedback saying, Evan, I like some of these videos, but I don't like some of the other ones. I wish you had a channel just for the Espresso series and just for the top 10 series. And so at the end of the day, it still has to work. This is an experiment where, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks in by the time this video comes up. And we'll see if it ends up working out or not. But the way to test it is to test it. Like, you won't know until you go off and do it. And so by paying attention to the feedback and the comments, I make decisions. And it has to be something that then I like too, right? And so you have to get close to your customers. Stop letting people get in between you and your customers. You need to have a relationship with your customers. People have to feel like you know them. And you have to feel like you know them too, to actually know what's going inside their head, so you can provide products or services that can help them. So I'm gonna give you a 3-step process that I think will really help. Step number 1 is be their chief goal officer. It is your job to think about, what is my customer's number 1 goal and how can I help them accomplish that? Maybe if that even means totally changing my business model around. Making your business not for you, or not just for you, but that mix, right? So just start asking yourself that question. Think about a customer, think about somebody who's bought from you recently, and ask yourself that question. How can I be their chief goal officer? What do they want out of life? What do they want in their business? How can I help them solve that problem? Step number 2 is pay attention to feedback. There's so much feedback coming in now online. You get so many opportunities. For me, I want every comment on YouTube responded to. And I have 2 full-time people now who are responding to my comments across my social media platforms. And they save the content that I need to see. They save the comments that are directed directly at me, that I need to see, that I need to respond to. And most of them, they respond to themselves. So for example, hey, Evan, you should do a top 10 on XYZ. Perfect. I don't need to see that yet. It goes to my team. They look at the research. They find out if there's enough content on that person. And if there is, they'll bring it to me and we'll make a decision and move forward from there. Most people, when they start building up a YouTube channel, they got there by responding to everybody's comments. But then at some point it becomes unsustainable. If I was sitting in the comments responding to every comment, I would run out of time. Like there just isn't enough time. Even if that was my full-time job, there's not enough time. I have 2 full-time people who are doing comments across my platform, which means I'm creating 0 content if I'm just now responding to comments. And so most YouTubers at some point just give up on it. They just give up. They say, okay, you know what? I'm going to respond to comments in the first 30 minutes of my video going up, or I'm going to spend half an hour a day responding to comments, and that's it. Or I'm only going to respond to the comments with people who have 100,000 subscribers or more, the important people, right? That's all I'm going to respond to. People set their own rules. I think it's all flawed. You scale your business to pay attention to feedback. Any company, as you're growing, sooner or later the phones are going to be ringing off the hook, right? It doesn't mean that you have to answer them, but somebody does. You hire somebody, you build your team. You need to pay attention to the feedback, whether that's comments on social media, whether that's reviews online, whether that's emails coming into your accounts. You have to pay attention to the feedback. If you're going to be somebody's chief goal officer, you got to see now, are you doing the work? Are you helping them? Are you getting results, right? Is your project working? Even this kind of video, we're tackling a more hardcore business topic than the usual mindset motivation stuff. Maybe you guys love it. Maybe you hate it. Maybe you're like, hey, Evan, never do this kind of video again. I want mindset every morning, not this hardcore business stuff. Dump it. I don't know. We'll see what you guys say. I'll see what's happening in the comments and we'll make a decision whether we do more of the more business tactical stuff. I like it. It's fun for me, but it has to be something you guys want and need as well. So step number 1 is be their chief goal officer. Step number 2 is pay attention to feedback. And step number 3 is go say hi. Just go say hi. Don't sit up in some ivory tower and lose the connection to your customers. You have to go say hi. I love meeting entrepreneurs. I just came back from this 90-day, 23-city tour, and almost every day I'm meeting different entrepreneurs. Like, I like being in the trenches. I'm still now going off and making content and writing books and doing all this other stuff, but you can't actually help people unless you're with them. And you might have been with them a year ago or 5 years ago, or whenever you started your company, you were one of them, but then you've evolved and become some other animal. You need to go back and be that person again. You need to be in there with them. Go say hi, shake their hands. The feedback that you get is is more big data. If 5 of you guys say, I love this video, and 500 say this video sucks, great. We won't do this kind of content likely again. That's more bigger data. The saying hi, the shaking people's hands is qualitative. I guarantee you, if you spent time every month or every week with your customers, saying hi face to face, going to see them in business, take them out for coffee, asking them about what their problems are, you will gain so much insight that will generate so many new ideas to help you explode your company. You have to make time for it on a consistent basis in your business.
Rule number 4, find your core values.
If you don't get this right, your business will fail. It's not just about what you love doing and the skill sets you have. It's about having similar core values as the people that you bring on board. You need to know what your who is. You need to know what you stand for as a human being. You need to know what your mission is and bring people on board who have similar core values. This is where so many entrepreneurs fail. If you only do a self-assessment and say, well, I'm great at this. I'm gonna be the technician. I'm gonna be the artist. I'm gonna be the coder. I'm gonna be the one doing all of the actual work. And I need to partner up with somebody who's a business person, who's gonna be doing the deals and the media and raising the capital and talking to investors and doing the sales pitches. It's not enough to say, well, I'm good at this and you're good at this, so let's get together. And that's what so many people do. That's why so many business partnerships fail, because you're just looking at it on paper. You're just saying, well, they have the skill sets I don't have, great, let's work together, boom, we're in business. And oftentimes entrepreneurs will then say, hey, well, let's do 50-50, right? You're bringing this, I'm bringing this, so here we go, 50-50 partnership. And for those who've been through it before, you know how much of a disaster that can be, because everything looks good on paper, but you can't make a decision just based off of paper. It's like going to a dating website and putting in your ideal person and then deciding to marry that person without ever going on a date. It's about core values. Why do things fall apart? Because you don't share the same core values. And a lot of times you don't even know what your own core value is to start with. So you figure out your one word, your most important core value. That's the starting point. You have to figure it out. I mean, it'll serve you not just for your business, but for any relationship, for life. This is what you stand for as a human. And then you want to attract people who not just have the skill set and the desire, but the same core value. Because you know what? The skill set is actually easier to teach than the core value. To make somebody change their beliefs, I don't know how to do it. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. To give somebody a new skill set is way easier to teach. I wasn't very good at making videos at the start. I practiced, I busted my face, I kept going. I busted my neck. I kept going and I got better at it. Even though I sucked at the beginning. Go back and watch my first video. Had no natural talent for this, but I picked up the skill through repetition. You can pick up the skill through repetition. But picking up a core value is really difficult. And so we don't screen for this. We don't look for this. We don't try to find this out in people. We're jumping into relationships way too quickly because it just makes logical sense. And then you realize 6 months in, man, you're screwed. And you can't get out of this partnership. You're handcuffed now because they own half of your business. And so here's the process that I think you should follow. 1, you start with understanding what is your most important core value. I wrote a book on it, you can pick it up, your one word, but just think about it. If you had one core value that you stood for as a human, more than all the other ones, what is it? It's always something positive. Mine's believe. I've seen a whole bunch of things. It's never something negative. It's never hate. It's never death. I've never had somebody's one word be something negative. You need to figure out what it is that you stand for. It's the most important exercise you'll ever do in your life. 2, now you build a business around it and you start attracting the people in who believe the same thing you believe. So as an example, when I'm doing a job posting for someone on my team, right? We've got 24 people on the team. When I'm doing a new job posting, it'll always lead with believe. So if I'm looking for a programmer for my website, it'll lead with believe. Believe, why I believe in entrepreneurs, what the mission I'm on, what believe means to me, the impact that I want to have on the world. Not talking about the job at all, just the mission, believe, the core value. Because what I want to do is eliminate the people who don't care about that. Some people will see that job ad and say, I'm a programmer. Like, what does that have to do with believe? This is stupid. Great, don't apply. You're saving both of us a lot of time because you might have all the skills that I need, but if you don't have the same core value, or at least we're aligned somehow in the core values, we're not going to work well together. You shouldn't be here. You should be somewhere else, and we'll both be happy. It's not that I'm better than you. we won't be happy together. We won't mix well because we have different core values. Go somewhere else. And then in the job ad, I'll get to what the offer is about, what the opportunity is, what the position's all about, what the requirements are. A lot of people will self-eliminate, and that's amazing. You want them to. But other people will look at that job ad and say, holy cow, I love this. This is exactly the thing that I've been looking for. Like, where has this person been my whole life? Where has this opportunity been I love this. This is exactly what I want to do. And what they'll do is they'll work harder to impress you. They'll work harder on their resume and their cover letter and in the interviews and doing extra work because they believe the same thing you believe. And so it's just such an important missing piece of the criteria that most people go through. We look to hire people and work with people just based off of skill set, and of course it's important. If you want to start a technical shop and you're hiring somebody or working with somebody who has zero technical skills, can they learn it? Absolutely, but it's probably going to take them a window of time to get there. It may not be fast enough for you to build your business. But we default too much to the skills. We default too much to the actual work they're doing and not enough to the inside. Not enough to what they actually believe in. And whether you're applying that philosophy to employees, to investors, to partners, to relationships, to friendships, to anybody who you have to deal with. When you are around people who believe similar things that you believe, you can go so much faster. And if you have anybody around you that's bringing you down, you have that one toxic relationship for whatever reason, even if they have all the skills in the world, that drags you down. And chances are it's because you guys just have different core values and you shouldn't be working together. And it's better to figure that out from the start instead of waiting 6 months, being a 50-50 partner, and killing your business.
Rule number 5, the last one before our very special bonus clip, chart your start.
Creating daily success routines is the secret to getting everything that you want. Everything that you want out of life, out of business, your hopes, your dreams, your ambitions, everything that you want lie on the other side of what you are doing daily, of your daily success, habits, and routines. I think we let ourselves down by default. I think we worry about other people's opinions by default. I think we play small every day by default. I think you should have already accomplished a lot of the things that are on your list, but you're stuck in procrastination mode because you are playing small by default, because you are not consistent, because you do not have the habits on a daily basis to keep going. Consistency is the difference maker. And so how do you stay consistent? I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to do it. Number 1 is chart your start. What you do in the first 15 minutes of your day matters. Chart your start. Have a plan of action. Most people wake up like an accident. Most people wake up, they're tired, you pull out your phone, you start looking on your email, and what are you doing when you're looking at your email or looking at social media? You're responding to other people's emergencies. Like, you wake up, you're tired, and the first thing you do is you start responding to other people's emergencies. I want you to control the first part of your day. Chart your start. Understand what it is that makes you come alive. Understand what is the action that helps you feel bold, creative, unstoppable. We've all had it. You've all had moments where you have felt bold, courageous, and unstoppable. What led to that? Reverse engineer yourself. What led to you feeling bold? Is it watching a video? Is it reading a book? Is it having a conversation? Is it doing a meditation? Is it taking your dog out for a walk? Is it cutting the grass? Like, I don't care. There's no judgment. I don't care what the thing is that makes you feel bold and courageous and unstoppable. I just want you to do it daily. I want you to start your day with intention. Most people don't start their day with intention, and that makes a difference between the people who achieve success and the ones who don't. And so chart your start. Figure out the thing that makes you come alive, that makes you feel like that big crazy idea of yours is actually possible, and put that into the first 15 minutes of every day. If you did the thing that made you feel bold, courageous, and unstoppable in the first 15 minutes of waking up every single day, not every day will be amazing, but I guarantee you that your life will look unrecognizable from where you are right now. Chart your start. Number 2 is Flex the X. One of the things I love doing is I get an annual calendar. I'm working on making a custom branded one here, but an annual calendar, and every time that you hit your main goals, you cross it off. And what you want to do is not break the pattern. right? Flex the X. We're getting strong, raw, and you're building momentum. I'm a big fan of momentum. I think we don't have enough momentum in our lives, in our businesses, and towards our goals. Where you see something like this, where you see that I did it yesterday, I did it before, I've been doing it for months, you don't want to break the pattern. And so flexing the X, feel proud about every single time that you do the thing that you want to do. So for me, the two most important habits that I have on here, one is fasting until noon. And so the only thing I have before noon is a coffee or a tea or some water, and then 30 minutes of cardio. So I'm running for 30 minutes a day. I went to Boston and we got in at 3 a.m. We drove all the way there and I was really tired, but I wanted to get my X. And so 3 o'clock, everybody's going to sleep. I'm still running for half an hour. The only exceptions, if I'm super sick, if I'm on medication, which doesn't really happen that often, then I'll give myself a break. Then I'll be gentle on myself. But most of the time, it's not that you can't do it. Most of the time, it's not that you're not able to do it. You're just procrastinating. You're just being lazy. You're just being tired. And so having a system like this where you can flex the X is super important so that you build momentum. You build momentum to actually accomplishing the habits, because success is a habit. Because again, everything you want out of life is on the other side of you doing the consistent habits every single day. And when you can track them like this and feel the momentum, it's so much easier to keep going. Flex the X. And number 3 is your actions have to map to your ambitions. What I love doing, and as an entrepreneur, we love being planners. We love thinking about the life that we want to have and a schedule that we want to create. Is what's in your calendar allowing you to accomplish your goals? Do your actions map to your ambitions? It's great to be motivated. It's great to watch a video like this. It's great to get some ideas. Your best immediate course of action is now looking at your calendar and saying, if I did these actions from Sunday to Sunday, and put your life in there, from the relationships that you want to have, from the business growth you want to have, every goal that you have, business and personal, if you did the actions that were in your calendar, would you come closer to accomplishing those goals? And for too many of you, it's no. For too many of you, you have ideas, you have ambitions, you have drive, you have goals and hopes and dreams. But then when you look at what's actually in your calendar, you're spending very little time on actually moving the ball forward on those goals. Now I get it. Maybe you have a full-time job. Maybe you have other responsibilities. Great. That's okay. The goal is to make those chunks bigger towards spending on our dreams and goals. But even those little actions, like your first action may be, I need to quit my job. I need to make enough money so that I can quit my job and do this entrepreneurship thing full-time. Awesome. Let me look at your calendar. Are you spending enough time every week doing the activities that you need to do so you can build your business to the point where you can quit your job? Do your actions map to your ambitions? And so it's great to come up with a list of goals and dreams, and we're going to hit these targets in 30 days. And it's super fun to do those exercises. What's more important than just having those goals is the habits. It's what's in your schedule, making sure your actions map to your ambitions. And so great, have your goals, but then immediately, like right now, dive into your calendar every day of the week and look, if I did these things, if I did everything according to my schedule, assuming you're going to stick to your schedule, right? If you did all those things, would you be moving closer to accomplishing the life that you want? Yes or no? And if it's no, then you need to make corrections. And that's where too many of you are falling down, and I want to see you win. Your actions need to map to your ambitions.
Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I want to know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you watch a video and just get motivated, you have a 35% chance of actually following through. That's what the science says. And that is not good enough, Believe Nation. We need to do better. When you actually get motivated and then create a specific plan of action for what you're going to do this week, you have a 91% chance of following through. And when you publicly commit to somebody else, like leaving a comment below on this video, it jumps even higher. So I want that for you. I want to know your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week so I can celebrate with you.
Nobody wakes up every day and says, this is gonna be the greatest day ever. Not Dan Locke, not Evan Carmichael, not Tony Robbins, nobody. You wake up and you're tired and you have stuff in your eyes and you have lines on your face from the pillows. The difference between successful people is that they demand excellence from themselves to the habits and routines that they do daily. The problem is that thinking that these people are different. that if you're not waking up with tons of motivation ready to take on the day, that something is wrong with you. The only thing that's wrong with you is you don't have the habits that set you up for success every single day. And today, I want to change that. So I have a 5S morning routine that I go through every single day that sets me up for success, that demands excellence. I'm going to share with you guys today. The first S is sing. The fastest way to change your state is to put on music. The fastest way to go from feeling low energy, tired, bored, into an energy of I am ready to go is music. Put on the song, not that makes you feel the current way that you're feeling. This is where most people mess up. You put on music for how you're currently feeling. If you're feeling really sad and low energy, you're gonna put on really mellow, slow music. What does that do? It keeps you in the same state that you're in. It keeps you exactly where you are. What you wanna do is put on the music for how you wanna feel. And so I have a playlist on my main channel called the Believe playlist, which is the songs that I listen to. These are the songs that I listen to every day. They may work for you, they may not work for you. There's no perfect song for everybody. There's a perfect song for you. And so build a playlist of the songs that make you come alive. Here's the criteria. If this song came on, it would force you to start moving. If the song came on, you find yourself doing this. If the song came on, you would get out of your chair and want to move around. Doesn't mean you're gonna dance like crazy. Doesn't mean you're gonna start belting out the lyrics. That may be you, awesome. But if you're a little more introverted or don't like to dance, something that would make you move, something that would get you at least in your chair doing this. That's what I want. Make a playlist and put that on as the first thing that you do every single morning. It'll make a huge difference to setting the tone, changing your state, and giving you energy and momentum to start the day. S number 2 is sun. I like getting outside. I think there's something about getting outside of your home, of your condo, your apartment, getting outside, getting some fresh air, just being out in nature makes a big difference. Getting some vitamins on your face from the sun outside, but also signifying that you're leaving your bedroom, you're leaving the condo, the apartment, the home, you're leaving what happened last night and you're ready to go off and start the day. This is especially important if you're working from home, because it's easy to have your office right next to your bedroom, or maybe your office is your bedroom, and carry that bedroom energy, that tired, I just woke up, I want to stay in bed, I want to sleep energy into your work, and you won't do great things if that's the energy you're carrying to your work. So having some kind of ritual that splits up sleeping energy to I'm ready to go energy makes a big difference. And I find the easiest way to do it is to get outside and get some sun. Bonus points if you're in a condo or apartment to take the stairs instead of the elevator. S number 3 is soar, and this is the most important thing for me. If you only take one of the 5, I think this is the most important one to take. What is the thing that makes you soar every day? What's the thing that makes you feel alive, bold, confident? What is that? And put it into your morning routine. At some point in your life, you felt bold. You felt unstoppable. You felt confident. It's happened to everybody. The problem is you don't feel that way consistently every day. You go through these bursts, these moments of, man, I could do such amazing things, but then the next day you wake up and you're a different person. You're back to the, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know. Who am I to go do this crazy thing? That's the problem. So whatever the thing is that makes you feel like you can come alive, that gives you that boldness and confidence, plan it with intention every single day into your morning routine. For me, what I do is I record a message on my phone to Instagram, to my stories, I put it to LinkedIn and Twitter. Right now I'm putting it everywhere, but I need to make a message. So I think of somebody that I helped yesterday. I think of somebody who commented on a video, who I met in person, who I coached on my Instagram Live, somebody that I helped yesterday. And then I make a message channeling that person. I won't say the person's name, but I have them in my head that I need to remind myself that the work that I do is important. It's easy to get lost in numbers. It's hard to imagine that 200,000 to 300,000 people watched my videos yesterday. That's crazy. It's a wild number, right? It's wild. It's hard to, what does that even mean? I don't know. I'm just sitting here talking to a camera in my office, and 200,000 to 300,000 people are watching my videos. It's crazy. I need to think down to the actual person. I need to think about an individual, that this matters to somebody, that the work I do really means something to them. And then I need to record a message and share it. That helps me soar, and I do it every day. What is the thing for you? What makes you soar? Maybe it's watching the 254 series that I put up every day. Maybe it's watching the Espresso videos like this that I put up every day. And some people every day. This is part of the morning routine, is watching an espresso video, and I'm humbled to be part of your morning routine. For other people, it might be meditating, it might be watching a video, it might be reading a book, listening to a podcast. I don't care what the thing is, but you have felt bold, unstoppable, and confident at some point in your life. What led you to feeling that way and then demanded of yourself every day by putting it into your morning routine? The third S is soar. It's the most important one. The fourth S for me is sweat. This is just about being healthy, having a healthy lifestyle, and I want to do something that makes me sweat. So whether it's a HIIT workout, a cardio workout, a weights workout, I put that into my daily routine because I want to bust a sweat and I want to stay healthy into my 40s, which is coming up, and then into my 50s and beyond. And then the last S for me is scare. I want to do something every day that scares me. What I'm doing right now is I take a cold shower. So after sweating, I need to have a shower. Don't want to show up to work all smelly. And so I hop in the shower, but right away start turning it colder and colder and colder and colder and colder. And then right at the very end, I go all the way cold and I freeze. And even just thinking of it right now, it sucks, which is the best. Right? You want to do the thing that scares you every day. You're teaching yourself that I do scary things. So whatever is scary for you, whether it's taking a cold shower, whether it's making a phone call, whether it's sending an email, making a video and posting it, doing scary things, teaching yourself, getting that out of the way right from the beginning, I find really helps me. Most people suck at creating work-life balance or harmony because you're constantly comparing what you're doing to other people's schedules. Of all the things that you need to figure out in life, what balance means to you is among the most important. Jeff Bezos jokes about optimizing his toothbrushing routine because he's trying to maximize his efficiency, while Warren Buffett reads for 5 to 6 hours every day. You can't do both, and you need to stop comparing yourself to someone who you're not. It's crazy how much balance and scheduling comes up. I think most people are lost. I think again, the biggest problem is you're just comparing yourself to other people and then you don't know where to stand. You don't know what rock to stand on, and so you feel like you're pulled in 1,000 different directions. When I went on my tour this year, and I'm sure it's gonna come up on the next one again, people kept asking that, what does balance mean to you? How do I find balance in my life? And I used to joke, one of the funniest jokes that I told, and I'm not that funny, so this is one of the funny moments. Was when I was talking about The Rock, and The Rock has his routine where he's working out for 4 hours a day. He has to work out for 4 hours a day. And so when he's doing his movies, he wakes up 5 hours before he has to be on set, and he'll work out for his 4 hours, and he'll do 2 times cardio and 2 times weights, and then go to his trailer, shower, and then head out to the movies. And he's only sleeping 4 to 5 hours a night when he's on set. I think that's crazy, but I don't look like The Rock. And that's when people would laugh, because I don't look like The Rock. But it's true. People will try to take on The Rock's schedule, but you have other priorities. What The Rock values isn't the same thing as you value. There may be some overlap and some similarities, and there's nothing wrong with trying on the hat. There's nothing wrong with attempting to do it. There's nothing wrong with seeing how it fits, right? To get pieces, to say, hey, I'm gonna try meditating, I'm gonna try working out, I'm gonna try making a video, I'm gonna try morning pages, awesome, great, yes. But then to judge yourself to say, well, I'm not able to stay consistent on that, it's not what you should be doing. Because you want to work out 4 hours a day, and you want to read 5 hours a day like Warren Buffett, and you want to optimize your toothbrush routine like Jeff Bezos, and you want to do all these different things, but it's too many hours in a day. What you have to figure out is, how does balance look like for you? And then not be ashamed to go off and live it when everybody else thinks you're nuts. So how do you do it? I'm gonna give you a 3-step process that I think will help. Step number 1 is start to figure out, what does balance, harmony look like for you, whatever you wanna call it. Sit down, take some time, book off half the day. This is worth it. This is worth it. If it's a Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning, whenever you are the most free and creative, find a space that you love, whether it's walking out in nature or your desk at home, or a coffee shop, library, something where you can just be by yourself, not have distractions, and really just ask yourself, what does a balanced life look like for you? What does harmony look like for you? Because you don't want to spend all day at work. You don't. And you don't want to spend all day with your family either. You don't. You don't want to spend all day doing anything. But what's that ratio look like? You don't want to spend all day sleeping. What's that ratio between how much time sleeping, how much time with your family, how much time on your hobbies, how much time with your friends, how much time at work? What does that ratio look like for you? And you may get a weird duck answer. Like, it may not fit into the society's norms. That's okay, right? It starts with you understanding, this is what I need for my life. Having clarity and having certainty around it, so that when other people judge you for your crazy schedule, say, this is what I need. This is what I need. Remember, the people who are judging you are all insecure about their own life and their own schedule too. So don't worry about it. Go live your life. Spend the half day. Maybe do it right now. If you have some ideas already, what does balance or harmony look like for you? Number 2 is map your actions to your ambitions. Okay, great. Now that you've set out what a perfectly balanced life looks like for you, what you got to do it. You show me in your calendar where you're actually doing it. I live my life by different days. So Monday's my mentoring day, Tuesday's my YouTube day, Wednesday's my project day, Thursday's my public facing day, Friday's my CEO day, Saturday is fun day with the family, and Sunday is family admin day, Costco and shopping and groceries and laundry and all that stuff, right? And that's how most of the time I live my life. When I'm on tour, when I'm doing trips or something, speaking, then it gets a little bit more chaotic, but then it returns back to normal because that's what balance, harmony looks like for me. That may be crazy for you. That may be crazy for you. If you look at my Thursdays, it's back to back to back meetings. I might have 10 or 15 meetings back to back to back to back to back with like 2, 3, 4 minute breaks in between. That's it, all day long, from 9 in the morning until sometimes 11 at night. I love it. It's great. And then on Wednesday, look at my calendar, it's open, nothing. White space to work on whatever I want to work on. Because if I'm doing my book, or I'm working on my course, or I'm doing some creative work, I like having the entire day wide open for me to do it. So I don't book meetings on a Wednesday. I don't talk to my team on a Wednesday. I don't make videos on a Wednesday. I do my project work on a Wednesday, right? That's what I love doing. And so that works for me. That may be the worst thing of all time for you. Awesome. But my actions map to my ambitions. If I set out, what does balance look like for me? This is it. I'm living it. Just like Saturday is fun day. Don't message me on a Saturday. You're not going to get a response. I'm spending the day with my wife. I'm planning surprises for her. I'm taking to a new restaurant. We're planning some kind of activities to do together. That's what we do on Saturdays, right? That's my version of balance. But at the same time during the week, my wife and I, we work together, so I see her a lot, but we don't start hanging out at night until 8 o'clock, right? That may seem crazy for you. But then we have all of Saturday completely shut down to work on things together, fun things. And then Sunday, the whole day to do what is actually family work, right? That works for us. It works for me, it works for her, it works for us. It may be the worst thing of all time for you. Maybe you do want to spend 3 hours a day cuddling with your husband or wife. Awesome, put it in. I'm not judging you. Put it in, go, do it. If that's what leads you to be happy, balance, and you bring the best of you everywhere you go, then you do it. You created your version of balance. Now you need to map your actions to your ambitions and put it in your calendar and stick to it. And then step number 3 is follow the Quincy Jones rule. Quincy Jones, a legendary music producer, once said, "Not 1 ounce of my self-worth comes from your opinion of me." And I really love that because I think so often we play small based off of other people's opinions and expectations of you. All these other people with low standards who hate their lives are judging you, and you live your life by their low standards. Somebody who hates their life, right? They're just on the edge of depression, or maybe they're already there and they're judging you. And these are the people whose opinions you care so much about. Not 1 ounce of my self-worth comes from your opinion of me. That doesn't have to be something you say out loud to them. That might cause some problems. But in your own head, right? Their opinion doesn't mean anything to you. If somebody looks at your calendar and you're cuddling your husband and wife for 3 hours a day, and that's what you need, awesome. Embrace it. This is who I am. I'm crushing it. What are you doing? Are you happy with your life? Right? Follow the Quincy Jones rule.
This is why I hate 5 to 10 year goals. You are not going to be the same person 5 years from today as you are right now, let alone 10 years from today. You won't be the same person. Think of the person who you were 5 years ago. Go back 5 years from today, 5 years, subtract 5 years from today's date, go back to that person. Could that person accurately predict what a happy, successful, joyous, impactful life is for who you are right now? Could that person 5 years ago accurately predict what you today are capable of? Heck no. Heck no. Not if you've been growing, not if you've been learning, not if you've been experiencing life. You're capable of so much more today than you ever thought was possible 5 years ago. And so what makes you think that the person who you are right now can accurately predict what you're going to love doing, what you're going to be great at, your goals, your plans for the next 5 to 10 years? It's not possible. You're thinking small. Here's the thing. I think you could have a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan and hit it. It's just small compared to what you are actually capable of doing. Because you put the blinders on, you stay down this one course, but the best course for you is actually going to swing out here. But you are so stubborn and so focused. Focus can be a great thing, but it can also lead you to play small for life. Instead of having 5 or 10-year goals, I want you to replace them with a mission. I think of Ted Turner's father, and Ted Turner is the guy who started CNN. He owned the Atlanta Braves, super successful philanthropist and billionaire entrepreneur. And when his father achieved his goal, his father wanted to be a millionaire, I think it was, and when he achieved his goal, he killed himself. He killed himself. Ted was a young man, was 20, 21, 22, something like that at the time. And he had to take over his father's business, which was in advertising. So he took over his father's business, and as he started becoming an entrepreneur, he made himself a promise. He said, I want to have a goal so big that I'm never going to accomplish it. Because I saw what happened when my father accomplished his goal. He hated his life and he killed himself. I want to have a mission, a vision so big that it will never happen in my lifetime. It's not going to happen. And then he wakes up every day and he tries to make it happen. I love that. That's what I do in my business. I love that. It's not about hitting that goal in 5 years. It's not about getting 10 million subscribers on my main account or 1 million subscribers on this account or any of these things. It's nice. They're great accolades. It's great to know that you're making progress, that the work you're doing is having an impact. But it's not about chasing down those results. It's not about chasing down those recognitions and awards and accolades. That's not what it's about. It's about doing the work. It's about getting up every day and trying to solve a big problem. I want to solve the world's biggest problem, untapped human potential. I think most people either, one, don't know what they should be doing in life. Most people have no idea what they should be doing. Most people have no idea what they have Michael Jordan level talent at. I think everybody has Michael Jordan level talent at something, has Eric Thomas level talent at something. You should be the Eric Thomas of something. We don't need you to be Eric Thomas. We have one already. He's great. He's amazing. I love him. We need you to take that talent that you have and apply it somewhere else. But most people never find it. Most people never find it, and then they settle. They settle for a crappy life. They settle for a life knowing that they could have done more. 95% of America wakes up and drives to a job that they hate. That's most people. That's where most people live. Some people have found it, but they don't believe in themselves enough to chase it down. You know you have skills at something. You know you're talented at something. You know in the core of you that you want to go off and do this thing. You want to go and be a musician, but your parents want you to be an engineer. And too many people go off and become the engineer and then hate their life. And they blame their parents. It's not your parents' fault. It's your fault. If you know what it is that you want to do and you don't believe in yourself enough to chase it down, that's your fault. That's on you. You have to do it. You have to do it. Because otherwise you're 95 years old, you're in your rocking chair at your old age home, and it's too late and you regret it. You've lived your entire life in regret, knowing that you are capable of more, but you didn't chase it down. That's the mission that I'm on. I want to take as many of those people and flip them. Take as many of those people and move them into the path that is right for them. I want them to find the thing that they love doing and then believe in their Michael Jordan level talent, Eric Thomas level talent to make it happen. That's my mission, but I'm not going to hit everybody. I'm not. It's just not going to happen. That's awesome. That's liberating. That's free. Now I get to go chase it down every day. So when people ask me, where am I going to be in 5 years, 10 years? I don't know. Here's the thing, I could be chasing down YouTube for the rest of my life, but at some point YouTube is going to become MySpace. You know, at some point YouTube is going to be irrelevant. In my lifetime, YouTube will become irrelevant. If I make my goals only YouTube specific, I'm losing. I could hit my goals. I could hit it, but it's nothing compared to what I should be doing. So where am I going to be in 5 to 10 years? I have no idea, but it's going to be doing something awesome. It's going to be something that is going to be moving my mission forward, moving my vision forward. And that's what I wake up every day to try to do. And that's what I want for you as well. And I'm going to give you a 3-step process to help you. Step number 1 is figure out your mission. What is your mission? What do you want? What problem in the world do you want to solve? Humans are built to serve, right? You want to help. Your happiness will come from helping people in some way. And if you're watching this video, chances are you're an entrepreneur or you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to help more than the 10 people around you. You want to have an impact. So what's your mission? If you could snap your fingers and think this problem, this giant problem is solved, what problem would you pick? There's a million amazing, worthwhile problems to go off and solve, but not a million for you. There's one for you. What is that? What's your mission? Number 2, how will you advance your mission today and gain momentum? This is where a lot of people fall down. They have a big mission. You know what you want to accomplish. You know the world you want to create, but it's so far in the future. It's never going to happen. It feels futile to even chase it down. Don't think that way, because helping one person is still helping one person. Every one person that I help unlock, that's another person who then can go spread the message. Every one person who discovers their Michael Jordan level talent and believes in themselves more to chase it down is another person whose mind's been unlocked and they're able to go off and do it and help others. You have to help people one at a time, right? It doesn't mean you can't have this bigger impact too, but don't let your big mission, your big vision, your big idea prevent you from taking action, from getting started, because momentum is a thing that's missing in most people's lives. Momentum is the reason why most entrepreneurs don't succeed. So start building momentum. This week, what's one small step that you can take this week to help your mission advance just a little tiny bit forward? And number 3, where will you schedule for success so that you stay consistent? Show me your calendar, I'll show you your life, right? You have these goals, you want to accomplish this mission, awesome. Where is it in your calendar that you're going to be spending time on this thing? If it's not in your calendar, it's not going to happen. If you wait until you have free time, it's not going to happen. You're just never going to do it, because some other life priority is always going to come up in the way. You have to fight for this time. You have to put gates and blockades and barriers around this time so that you make it happen. You have to. Otherwise, it will never happen. You have to schedule for success. Your success comes down to your habits. And your habits are what you put into your calendar to say, these things must get done. Now, you're not going to spend 24 hours a day working on your mission. I get it. Awesome. Maybe you already have a full-time job and you can't take away from that. Awesome. But show me in your calendar. Mark it down. This block, right? Maybe it's only one time a week. Great. This block of time is uninterrupted, is my priority, is my focus. I'm not going to get distracted. I'm going to make sure that this block of time happens every week, every day. Whatever it is for you. Put it into your calendar, schedule for success. When is that block of time going to happen for you? There will be moments in your business where you will need to have superhuman strength to keep going, where it just demands everything from you, every single ounce that you have. But if you need to have superhuman energy every single day, you're going to burn out and fail. So whenever I want to try something new, when I'm testing something new, I always eat into some of my reserves. It may mean to go off into this new project, I'm going to sleep less, or spend a little bit less time working on my book, or a little less time working on my YouTube channel, right? You eat into these reserves. But that's not sustainable. If that's what you're doing constantly, you're going to be unhappy. You're going to burn out. You're going to fail. So quick example. Sadhguru came to Toronto. Sadhguru, if you don't know, he's a yogi. He's an Indian mystic. We did a top 10 on him. He then invited me to come to his event in Toronto and then do a one-on-one interview with him close to the Toronto airport, the island. It was amazing, great time. Out of that, he says, Evan, I want you to come to my multi-day event in the US. I want you to come, be a VIP guest there. It'd be amazing to have you. Awesome. But before you do that, you have to do my 7-day program where you have to meditate every day for 7 days. And I think it's an hour plus every day. I didn't have an hour a day, right? I mean, that's not part of what I had in my calendar. Every hour in my calendar is accounted for. It doesn't mean I'm working all that time, but I might be spending time with my wife. I might be spending time with my son. Every hour is accounted for. And so to do this, I had to eat into some of my reserves. And so for that one, I asked Nina, I said, Nina, if you're gonna come with me, you have to do this too. Do we want to spend our hour in the evening, instead of watching a show, instead of relaxing, to do this program for 7 days for meditation? And she said yes. And so here's the thing, we did it for 7 days and we went to the event. It was awesome. If it was something that we were going to continue, if we were going to meditate every day for an hour ongoing, then I'd have to readjust my schedule. Your success comes from your habits. You need to figure out what a balanced life looks like for you. Now, ultimately, I don't meditate an hour every night. I do some healing meditation for my neck every morning, but that habit didn't stick, and that's okay. So when you're testing new habits, testing new ideas, testing something for your business, or some emergency comes up that you have to deal with, it's going to tap into your reserves. You can't be running your business at full capacity already. You can't be running your business on zero, on empty, because that means there's no extra gear. That means that when life punches you in the face, you can't handle it. That means if you want to try or taste or test something else, you can't do it because you have no reserves, you have no battery, there's no more gas in the tank. And so that's where a lot of entrepreneurs live. That's where it's really troublesome. That's where a lot of entrepreneurs will end up burning out, failing, and crushing their dreams, because you're just running with no gas left in the tank. And so you can stretch yourself. I think that's normal. I think that's okay. I think life will hit you in the face. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, here comes another punch. That will happen. But it's making sure that you can live that balanced life, whatever balance looks like for you. So how do you handle these things when they come up? I'm going to give you a 3-step process that I think will help. Step number 1 is tell yourself it's the best. When life punches you in the face, when you get some crisis that happens, I try to run a no crisis business, But that is not always possible. Stuff will still happen, and if it's not in your business life, it'll happen in your personal life. When life punches you in the face and you can't get out of it and you have to address it, you have to deal with it, instead of living in the land of negativity and complaining and why me and despair and desperation, I flip it. I complain for 8.5 seconds and then say, this is the best. It's the best. This is the best thing ever. Because what it does is it puts you in a state of resourcefulness. It puts you in a place where you can then go and solve the problem. So I'm going to meditate for an hour a night. This is the best, right? I'm sitting next to the smelly dude on the airplane. It's the best. Because what's the alternative? You're stuck next to the smelly guy on the airplane. What's the alternative? The alternative is you sit on the plane and you're upset and you freak out and you complain and you're negative and grumpy and unhappy. And that's not going to allow you to create beautiful, amazing things for your business or your life. So when you're forced into that situation, when life hits you by surprise, tell yourself this is the best. This is your chance to prove to yourself and the world what you're actually made of. Step number 2 is if this is an ongoing problem, then you need to fix your life. Right? If it's every single day that this is happening, then you can't tell yourself it's the best every day, because it's the best allows you to tap into those reserves. It allows you to find that extra little bit of juice in the gas tank to keep going and solve this big problem. But if it's every day that you're stressed out to the max, that you're not sleeping, that you have no energy, that you're hating the work that you're doing, you need to fix your life. You can't get up every day and just tell yourself it's the best, because you're going to run out of energy. There's no reserves left. You will fail. You will disappoint yourself. You will just run out. And so you are what you consistently do. You look at your calendar and there's something in there that is broken. You need to fix your life if every day you are stressed out. And then step number 3 is schedule for success. So your habits will dictate your success. Your actions need to map to your ambitions. What balance looks like for you needs to be reflected in your habits. You can say, here's what balance looks like for me, but if you're not living it, you're not going to be happy, and you're going to run out of energy, and you're going to burn out, and you're going to start to hate your life. So what does a balanced life look like for you? How much time do you want to spend with your family, with your significant other, on your business, on yourself, personal development, working out, singing, hobbies, dancing, friends, whatever it is that you want to do? What does a balanced life for you look like? And this is something that only you can judge. What I do, what The Rock does, what Sadhguru does, what Dan Locke does, what anybody that we profile, whatever they do, what Elon Musk does. Don't compare yourself to Elon Musk and his schedule. You can use his schedule as guidance, as an idea, as here's something that somebody is doing that is possible, but maybe that's not for you. You try on the hat and then you see. So you have to decide, what does balance look like for you? And then take out your calendar every day of the week from Sunday to the next Sunday and put everything in. Here's how much time I want to spend on these different activities. Because if you want balance and it looks like this, and then you look at your calendar and it's totally different, you're going to run out of energy and not like your life. Schedule for success. The trick to getting yourself into action mode is to trigger yourself for success. Triggering yourself for success means you've taken the decision making out of it, that as soon as you come up with an idea, you have trained yourself by default into action mode. You see, your brain will always talk you down from things because it's trying to keep you safe, and it only understands a world that currently exists that is logical and practical. Until you learn to trigger yourself for success, you will constantly doubt your thoughts, your ideas, and your actions. This video is gonna help. So today, I want to talk about this bag right here. A lot of you leave comments, the newer fans of the channel say, why is Doritos sponsoring your videos? Evan, why don't you have a healthier sponsor? Don't you know what bad Doritos does to your body? You should be promoting healthy living. Doritos is not a sponsor, guys. This is triggering me for success every single day. And this isn't just some tiny bag. It looks small looking back here, but let me bring this up. Look at that. This is right next to my face. Look at how big that bag of Doritos is. I have a strategy, and it's a weird strategy, so maybe you'll love it, maybe you won't, but I have a strategy called Damn the Doritos. I look at this bag. So I'm sitting, this is how I'm working, right? I'm not sitting, I'm standing. I'm standing on a trampoline. This is my workspace right now, right? I'm standing here, I'm working. In the corner of my eye, I got Steve Jobs up here, and I got this giant bag of Doritos. All I want to do is eat this bag all day long. I want to destroy this bag of Doritos. Look at that giant chip. Oh, I'm gonna start drooling soon. I love it. I wanna eat that all day long. This bag is here as a reminder of how great I am. This is the mental conversation inside my head. Evan, you're awesome. You're awesome for not eating those Doritos.
every day. And I want it as a reminder. People say, doesn't it take a lot of willpower? No, it builds, for me at least, builds the willpower, builds my strength. Every time I see that bag of Doritos, makes me feel better about myself, that I'm not eating it and I have the strength to keep going. And so why I have that here is when you're on a diet, right? This is how it began. When you're on a diet, your friends, your family, the experts will say, get rid of all the junk food from your house, get rid of it all, because otherwise you'll be tempted and then you're gonna eat it and then you're gonna ruin your diet. I think that is actually teaching yourself that you suck. You're teaching yourself, I'm a weird duck, you're teaching yourself that you are not strong enough to be around the thing, and so I need to get it out of my environment. The only way that I can stick to this thing is if this other stuff is nowhere close to me. I think you're telling yourself that you suck. I think it's a big crutch. And just like when you break your leg, you have a crutch, your ultimate goal is to not have a crutch. It's to walk, it's to run, it's to be stronger than before, right? And so as a step one, maybe it's good, right? As a step one, okay, fine. You broke your leg, you have a crutch. You wanna get on a diet, you're addicted to junk food, get it out of the house, awesome. But as soon as you go on vacation, as soon as you go to an office party, as soon as you go to New Year's, any kind of party, you're gonna destroy the food because you've trained yourself every day that you suck, that you're not capable. I think you're a genius. I think you're stronger than you think. And so I tested it first with myself and I thought, you know what? Doritos are my nemesis, right? I love Doritos. Oh my gosh, just looking at that bag. So I went to Costco and bought the giant size bag of Doritos. I said, I'm gonna put this on my desk all day long. Because damn the Doritos, because the Doritos are stronger than me? I don't think so, right? I'm Evan Carmichael. And same thing for you. That thing that is holding you, that's stronger than you? I don't think so. Remember who you are. Remember how strong you are. And that's what this is here for. And it's been awesome to see people now take this up. A friend of the channel, Liron, was trying to get off of sugar. And he has this coffee cup with a saucer and he drinks his morning coffee. And he put 2 packets of sugar on the saucer right next to the coffee. So he pours his coffee, has the sugar right next to it, and he just starts drinking it and puts it down and looks at the sugar packs and then just drinks the coffee again and puts it down, looks at the sugar packs, and his wife thinks he's crazy. And he's a little crazy too. You gotta be a little bit weird duck, but I think this is actually how you build your strength. Mark Drager, another friend of the channel, is addicted to the Peak Friends cookies. You know, the ones that have the red on the inside and the cream in the middle. Those are among my favorites too. And so his COO, when he heard this, went out and bought all these boxes of Peak Friends and put it on Mark's desk. And he opened it up. And this is one of my favorite things to do. Whenever I'm around Doritos or something I really love to eat, not just say, oh, put that away from me. Don't be around me. I can't have that. And not just look at it. I want to smell it. So Mark took these cookies, brought it right up here. Peak Friend cookies, right up here. Oh, and you can just see the joy on his face just as he's bringing back memories and just what those cookies are gonna taste like when they enter his stomach, and just goodness everywhere, right? The smile on his face, maybe a little bit of drool coming out, you just, and then put the cookies down and walk away. And how great that makes you feel as a human to say, here's one of my biggest weaknesses of all time. Bring it. I own you. Put it down and walk away, right? I think that's how you actually build strength, by doing those difficult things, by triggering yourself for success. Every time I see the Doritos bag, I feel better about myself, I feel stronger about myself, and I want you to do the same thing. If any of you are gonna take on that kind of challenge, I wanna hear you, I wanna follow you, I wanna see how your journey is going, because it can be one of the biggest, most important life-changing decisions that you embark on.
If you want to learn how to stop being your worst enemy in life, check out the video next to me. I think you're gonna enjoy it. Continue to believe. I will see you there.
Most people, they might act confident and seem like they have it all put together, but secretly they're fighting their own battles, and at home, in private, the comfort of their own home,